This is WKYT This Morning.
It's Friday. Good morning from WKYT. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Michelle Chamberlain. Like you said, it's Friday, April 15th.
Right, exciting. And now at 6:30, we are live at the scene of breaking news this morning, where crews are working to try to get a large fire in Montgomery County under control. We'll have the latest from that scene.
How a Lexington University plans to honor a Kentucky native and her husband who were killed in the terrorist attacks in Brussels.
And spring is in the air, and so is UK football. Details on this year's big blue-white game at Commonwealth Stadium.
Boy, that weather, I tell you what, today and tomorrow and Sunday, all these days look so nice. I will say this, today there is a very slight chance of rain. Can't rule that out, but most stay dry, most stay really nice. 40s and 50s this morning, 70s by the afternoon. Do we have any chance of rain this weekend? We'll have that coming up.
Well, there is a lot going on in the news this morning, and one thing that impacts everybody in the state, the 2016 legislative session will come to a close today. There still is one big issue that needs to be resolved.
Yeah, today lawmakers will vote on the recently agreed upon two-year budget. WKYT's Mark Barber is live in Frankfort to explain what we can expect today. Good morning.
Good morning, Michelle. House and Senate leaders have not released many details about the budget yet, saying they wanted to brief their own parties first. So this afternoon, we could start to get a much clearer picture of what the state's spending plan could look like the next 2 years. Now, the full House and the full Senate will meet at noon today to decide if they will give final approval to the state's budget deal. Locked in a stalemate, lawmakers on the Budget Committee would not budge on the budget for months. But just before 3 yesterday morning, they finally reached a compromise. Their budget agreement would put $1 billion back into the state's pension fund through spending cuts to numerous state agencies. The bill includes a 4.5% cut for public colleges and universities. However, Kentucky State University's funding would not be cut because they are already in serious financial trouble. Under the budget, state police would receive a raise and funding for Planned Parenthood would not be cut. If the House and the Senate approve the budget today, Governor Bevin has 10 days to veto lines from the legislation or sign the bill. Now, since lawmakers waited until early yesterday morning, the very last possible day to go ahead and strike a deal, they no longer have the power to override any possible vetoes that Governor Bevin could hand down for this budget. However, they still have the power to override any vetoes for the previous 6 bills that Governor Bevin has already vetoed. Of course, we have a full list of that previous legislation that has been vetoed available for you on our website, WKYT.com. Live in Frankfort, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Thank you so much, Mark. Today, Transylvania University will hold a memorial service for a Lexington native who was killed in the Brussels attacks. Stephanie Schultz graduated from Transy in 2008. She and her husband, Justin, died March 22nd when bombs exploded at the Brussels airport. Today's memorial begins at 4 o'clock at Old Morrison Chapel on campus. The university is also collecting donations as a way to honor the couple.
Several crews remain at the scene right now of a large barn fire in Montgomery County. That fire started just before 5 o'clock this morning. This map shows you it was off of Willoughby Town Road. That's about 5 miles south of Jeffersonville. Let's go live to the scene right now and show you what's going on. There are no reports of any injuries, but you can see from this live shot that the barn has burned to the ground. Now, the property owner is telling WKYT News that the barn mostly had just farming equipment inside, but it also housed some baby chicks, apparently a large number of those. The owner also says that a heat lamp may have started the fire. Obviously, it looks like a near total loss at that fire this morning, but the efforts continue to put that fire out in Montgomery County. The NAACP chapter in Lexington is calling for the resignations of some leaders at Lexington Catholic High School. That request comes after a 14-year-old student says he was harassed and threatened by a teammate because he's black. That teammate is facing charges in the case. Another African-American student claims he was assaulted by a white classmate. The NAACP has since met with the bishop of the diocese and is calling for the school's principal and the school's president to resign.
The community's crying out right now, and so we believe that in order to transform that culture, it has to start at the top.
A spokesperson for the Diocese of Lexington said in a statement that the bishop hopes the NAACP can be a resource in moving forward against the remnants of racism. The two are scheduled to meet again next week. We have reached out to Lexington Catholic High School. They did not return our request for a comment.
A Kentucky sheriff's deputy is being credited for stopping a sexual assault. The suspect, Thomas Jaggers, is facing multiple charges. Investigators say an Edmonson County sheriff's deputy was called to a home, and when he got there, he walked in on Jaggers sexually assaulting the victim. When his orders to stop were not enough, investigators say the deputy hit Jaggers several times with his baton to stop the attack.
We're learning some more about what investigators think led to a brutal beating in Knox County. The sheriff's office there says Haley Bond showed up at her father's house and got into an argument with him. When her father's fiance, Sue Sizemore, tried to step in, deputies say Bond attacked her. They say Sizemore, Bond's father, and another family member then locked themselves behind a door until the police could get there. Sizemore was injured so badly that she is now on life support at UK Hospital.
Lexington city leaders have granted another extension to developers of the Centrepointe project. A spokesperson for Mayor Jim Gray says the city issued a new 30-day building permit. The city had set a March 30th deadline for the underground parking garage at Centrepointe to be finished or the site restored to the grassy lot that was there before crews started digging. So on that day, crews did start pouring concrete at the site, but looking at it, it seems like little has happened since. The city says it continues to monitor the site for progress.
Well, it's getting a job at Kentucky's, if getting a job at Kentucky's Noah's Ark attraction floats your boat, then you must first pledge your Christianity. The Grant County theme park is searching for 300 to 400 workers to fill food service, ticketing, and other positions. The 510-foot-long Ark Encounter will open up in July. Ken Ham is founder of the ministry Answers in Genesis, and he says employees will be required to sign a statement saying they are Christian and, quote, profess Christ as their Savior. The group won a court ruling that said it can make religious-based hires even as it seeks a state tax incentive. Tennessee's governor has vetoed a bill that would have made the Bible the official state book. The bill narrowly passed both chambers of the Tennessee legislature in Nashville. Sponsors said it would honor the historical contributions of the Bible. But the state's attorney general warned that the bill would violate the Constitution. Lawmakers could still override the veto, as Tennessee only requires majorities in both chambers to do that.
A former amusement park in Kentucky will be sold at auction next week. A handful of potential buyers inspected the site of the former Guntown Mountain tourist attraction in Cave City this week in anticipation of the sale. Now, there have been dozens of inquiries. Cave City officials closed the site in September over code violations. A judge ordered the April 20th sale as part of foreclosure proceedings. Fans of UK basketball and bourbon have been camping out all night at Keeneland.
And then in walked a legend, right? They're out there to get a special Maker's Mark bottle signed by some UK basketball greats, including a surprise guest this morning. And WKYT's Mike Byer is live at Keeneland to explain that. Good morning, Mike.
That's right, Bill. Good morning. There are plenty of excitement out here at Keeneland this morning. Hundreds of people are lined up and are ready to get their commemorative bottles of Maker's Mark signed by some UK basketball legends. Signing the bottles this morning will be former UK basketball coach Joe Hall and 4 of his players from the 1978 NCAA championship team. Those players are Jack Gibbons, James Lee, Kyle Macy, and Rick Roby. They'll be signing Maker's Mark UK commemorative bottles that were purchased last week. Joining this group and also signing will be Maker's Mark COO Rob Samuels and Keeneland President and CEO Bill Thomason. They'll be signing the bottles from 7:30 to 11:30 this morning at the Keene Barn and Entertainment Center. Now, I recently spoke with Alonzo Shirley, who got here Thursday morning. Shirley tells me he looks forward to this event every year.
So it's very exciting to get to do it. You know, you get to see all these people, and it's just a challenge to do. You got to set something to do in your life, and you get my age, this is part of it, you know. I'm going to collect my Maker's Mark today. I can't do it anymore.
Now, Shirley is first in line, and there are hundreds of people behind him ready to get these bad boys signed. Can I keep this one? Can I keep this one?
No.
Ah, he won't let me keep this one. Darn it. Oh, well. Live here at Keeneland, Mike Byer, WKYT.
He tried, right?
Nice try. Exactly. All right. Well, a great crowd out there this morning. And then, of course, there'll be a crowd later today for horse racing out at Keeneland as well. Our time this morning is 6:40, and we're still a couple of months from the start of football season. But UK fans can get an early taste of it this weekend.
Yeah, that's right. The annual Blue-White game is tomorrow at Commonwealth Stadium. Fans can come out and watch the football team face off against each other. The weather, like Micah said, is going to be great if you plan on tailgating. Now, the game starts at noon, and tickets are free, but if you can't make it to the stadium, you can see the game on the SEC network.
All right, so much to do around the area.
What a great weekend,
and
some great weather to boot.
It's going to work out. All right, it's right now 6:41.
Let's check to see how traffic is moving along so far this morning.
Here's Officer Don with our check on live drive traffic. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. Well, no collisions, and they're running radar on the Times Road widening project this morning. So watch for police anywhere between Forest Hill over to the I-75 overpass, and just be extra careful through there as crews continue to work. Let's get a look outside, and we'll show you what's happening as far as drive times are concerned in real time. From Nicholasville, looking good. No problems right now on the interstate, and even from Clark County, US 60 is a straight shot. Drive times this morning should be okay coming in from Jessamine County. It's 12 to 14 minutes. Also, if you're coming in from Paris Pike, about 18. Winchester is going to take about 22. Now back to you in the studio.
Okay, thank you so much. Everybody take your sunglasses along today, and no coat required. It's a good
like
one.
We saw the emojis, the happy emojis
You
today.
got it.
And the whole weekend.
Look good. All right. Much more news coming up on WKYT this morning. Our top stories in just a few minutes.
It was a rough day for this Great Dane. How her owner thinks she ended up getting stuck in a tree. You'll see this after weather.
We still have that energy to the south of us. What does that mean for our day today? Well, that means still can't rule out that slight chance at a shower. But the weekend's much different. I'll show you that in your forecast coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Still looking across the region and seeing that cloud cover out and about, and this shapes up to be a really, really nice day. Very nice morning, too. We're in the 40s and 50s, so much warmer than the past few days. But where you see the clouds, you see that set up? Where you see those right now is where you can expect the best chance of rain. Far north, don't expect the best chance of rain. East, southeast, I don't expect that good of a chance of rain. But if you go off into Lexington, make your way down the I-64 corridor, back toward Louisville, the BG Parkway, 27, 127, and down towards, say, the London-Corbin area across 75, this area right through here is where you can expect a passing light shower. Remember, this is not a good chance of rain. You're talking 20%. So very slight chance. Don't cancel any plans. It's nothing like that. 23.5 hours of your day today will be dry. All right, so which tells you what? Once you get the rain over you, it's not going to last long, and then it moves on out, and you should have a really nice afternoon off into the evening hours. Temperatures 40s and 50s right now. We head into the afternoon and evening. Watch this hour-by-hour forecast. This is what you want to see. Anywhere from 2 p.m. to about 7 p.m. is when you can expect a slight chance of rain in the forecast. Look at everybody who's dry, but then look at these little blips here and there. Across 64, across the central zones, and then make your way back toward the west. That's another good shot at actually seeing a sprinkle or so. And then it fades away by 7 p.m. 7, 8 p.m., heading out to dinner, heading out to any events you have going on. It's really good weather. I don't see you having any problems whatsoever. Maybe even sitting out on the patio once you have dinner later on this evening. Let's talk about your Saturday and Sunday now. Saturday and Sunday are totally different, meaning you're going to get a slight chance of rain today. This weekend, you'll have no chance whatsoever. It's a beautiful weekend in store. Not only that, but temperatures are incredibly nice. So you're talking about 70 to about 77 degrees on Saturday and Sunday. Both of those days will feel phenomenal. Sky condition, no problem whatsoever. Great looking days ahead. 73 coming out at Lexington. Look down south, still holding on to the mid-70s too. So we're going to be looking across the region. Things look good. I want to keep you updated. Don't forget, current traffic right now looks good. But what we're going to be expecting as we travel off into the afternoon, off into the evening. Remember, shuttles are going back and forth downtown. You got the spring game going on tomorrow. You have Keeneland going on today and throughout your weekend. So there's a lot going on as we head throughout here in Lexington. And there are several events going on this weekend across the state of Kentucky. So if you have anything going on, just know that traffic's going to get a little bit backed up as we travel off into your weekend too, as everybody will be out and about. And these parks were packed yesterday. I actually went out to Jacobson Park yesterday here in Lexington. We had a blast. Just got a few rocks, let the little man throw them in the water, and it's just good to be outside.
Were you afraid of the duck?
He about got me, didn't he?
Yeah.
I put it on Twitter. He was yelling.
Did you really?
I mean, it was right here. He was yelling at me like, "Give me some food. I want some crackers."
So did you
man.
give it food?
We gave it food.
Okay.
Yeah.
We gave
If
it
he'd
food.
have hissed at you, you'd have
Yeah,
run.
he did hiss. I did run. Yeah.
And your lemon
absolutely.
socks?
Yeah, my lemon socks. That makes me look fast running down through there.
I bet it does. Thank you.
Thanks,
Great
Micah.
forecast. Our time is 6:48 right now.
So this is a mystery fit for Scooby-Doo and the gang.
Right. How does a 120-pound Great Dane end up stuck 20 feet up in a tree? Inquiring minds want to know. Cora's owners have no idea how in the world she got up there. Before climbing the tree, she had to jump a 5-foot fence. Firefighters were called in to help get her down. They said at first they thought that they were being pranked by the call, but then they used a harness for a police canine to lower her down, but her weight caused the harness to break.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that. Luckily, part of the rescue crew was able to break her fall. Her owner thinks a squirrel or a raccoon got up there and got her attention. so she bolted.
Well, you never see a Great Dane in a
She's
tree.
about as tall as he is. It's amazing, isn't it? All right, good to have you with us on WKYT on this Friday morning. And I hope you'll stay with us now. CBS This Morning in a few minutes, but our top stories are on the way.
Yeah, we'll have more news when we come back.
Coming up, a Democratic duel in Brooklyn. How last night's fiery Clinton-Sanders debate could affect New York's pivotal primary. Plus the dramatic rescue of an infant pulled from the rubble after Japan's powerful earthquake. More real news coming up on CBS This Morning.